Alright, hey everyone, Lynn here, Parkside Driving School. We're going to go over what we do on Drive 3. So, Drive 3 is one of the most difficult drives we do in Driver's Ed because we do a lot of stuff going backwards on Drive 3. A lot of stuff in reverse. And so this video isn't really going to cover a lot of the actual technical parts of Drive 3 because, like I've said in previous videos, I can't show you with these cameras exactly what I'm trying to teach you on Drive 3, but the critical concepts I can go over a little bit. So Drive 3, we start getting on more busy multi-lane streets like this one. 4 lanes in each direction, center two-way left turn lane, shared for traffic in either direction that's turning left. So we work on the appropriate use of that lane, this center lane. We also try to work on streets that have speed limits up in the 35 mile an hour range, maybe even up to 40. So we're not dealing with super high speed, like we're not getting on the freeway on Drive 3, but we're working on roads where getting up to speed is important, maintaining speed is important, and doing things, making judgments about risk at a slightly higher speed is starting to become important. So again, we're trying to build confidence. We're not trying to scare anybody. We're not trying to overwhelm anyone in the learning process. We're just trying to push them slightly out of their comfort zone into new environments of driving that they are going to have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. So, how do we use this shared center two-way left turn lane? Well, let's go over it because there's 2 or 3 different ways that we use it. One way is if we're like I am right now driving on this road with this lane next to me. If I want to turn left into one of these parking lots or one of these driveways, I need to use that shared lane. So let's try that. Let's go up here. We're going to turn left into this Tri-Cities Automotive Repair place. So I'm going to signal left, check my blind spot to the left. I'm going to move into this shared center lane, and then no oncoming traffic, so I'm going to turn left into this parking lot. Okay, that was pretty simple. That is the primary reason that lane exists, is to help you turn left off of the street into a side business or driveway. So now, if I'm re-entering the street from this parking lot, let's say I want to turn left here, I need to know whether I'm supposed to use that center lane or not. Well, the answer is, it depends on if the lane is painted in front of you or not. So look in front of us. See the yellow lines? They're painted all the way across in front of us, solid yellow across. That means we use the lane. So we make sure we have good cross distance. We need to make sure cars from the left are not going to hit us. And if it's clear, we pull out into the center lane. Then, when it's safe to our right, we make a lane change to our right. And we re-enter traffic and continue down the road. So if you're pulling out onto a street that has a center shared lane like that, and you're going to turn left, you turn left into that center lane, and then you make a lane change to the right out of that center lane. Every time. Always. Don't cut all the way through to the driving lane. Just go into the center lane, make a lane change to the right, and then continue. It allows you to prioritize traffic risk. So the first thing you're doing is you're checking cars to the left. Okay, it's safe for me to get halfway out into the street. I'm now halfway out into the street, sitting in that shared lane. Now I can evaluate risk to my right and move a lane over to the right when it's safe to do so. I don't have to wait for the whole street to be clear for me to make a left turn. I just wait for the half to my left to be clear, and then the half to the right to be clear, and I can make that same left turn. It's very helpful. It's also very dangerous if you do it wrong. If you pull out into that lane when someone else is entering it, good chance that the two of you will run into each other. So you've got to be watching that center lane and using it when it's right and when it's safe, and staying and waiting when it's already occupied by other cars. All right. But if it was that simple only, people wouldn't make mistakes with it. There's another third nuance to that shared lane that makes it a little bit more complicated. Let's see here. We'll go up here to this next street. I actually missed a good intersection, so I'm going to have to double back to the intersection I should have gone to. Hey, look, good opportunity for a U-turn. Looking, turning, rolling around to the right, or to the left, yeah, to the left. Back to this intersection. I'm going to turn right here. I'm going to have to make a couple little jockeys in my route here to make this work. But I'm going to use... this one doesn't work. We're going to have to go somewhere else. So let's talk about something else while I get us somewhere else. Drive 1 and Drive 2. One of the things I covered in those videos is that anytime you're going backwards, your eyes need to be looking back. Drive 3 really hammers that home. We're not going to do that on this video. We're not going to do a lot of backing stuff on this video, but we do a lot of backing on Drive 3. And if you're not looking the direction the car's going, you will not succeed at the skills. You might be able to fake your way through it a little bit. You might be able to talk the instructor into going easy on you. But if you haven't figured out that the car goes backwards because you're looking back, you need to practice that. You need to practice it a lot, because that is going to keep you safe. It's going to keep you from crashing. It's going to keep you out of trouble anytime you go backwards. You really got to focus on that. So work on going backwards. I know I sound like a broken record. I know I keep talking about that in all of the videos and making a big deal about it. It's because it's that important. Going backwards is one of those things where people make gigantic mistakes that causes a lot of crashes all the time. You can avoid it simply by looking where you're trying to go. All right. So, also on Drive 3, perpendicular parking, which is the straight-in type of parking that you do in parking lots. Like virtually all parking lots are either angle parking or perpendicular parking. You did angle parking on Drive 2. Perpendicular parking we do on Drive 3. Oh, turned yellow on me. I gotta stop for this intersection. Look at that. So even though I'm talking on camera, that makes me a little distracted. I'll admit that. But I'm using my eyes and my senses as an experienced driver to stay aware of the major changes in traffic so that I don't make a mistake. Right now, if you tried to video yourself driving, you'd probably get in more trouble. But since I'm relying on some of my pre-established experience, I can get away with it with a little less risk. It's probably still a little risky. I'm not going to say I'm not at any elevated risk here, because I am. I could make a mistake easier because I'm talking to you while I'm driving than if I were just completely focused on driving. But I'm trying to stay super focused on the important stuff so that I can talk to you and keep myself safe at the same time. All right, this next intersection, we're going to turn right, and we're going to make a U-turn, and we're going to finish our conversation about this shared center left turn lane. You thought I was going to forget about it and not come back to it, but I remembered. I got a brain. I'm smart. So I'm going to do a U-turn here, but look, there's a car coming towards me, oncoming, so I'm going to wait for them to go by because I don't want to get in their way. And then, oh look, here comes another truck. I'll be nice. I could have made the U-turn in the time it takes for him to get to me, but instead of being a jerk and cutting him off, I'll just wait. He's not going to take long to get out of the way. And then look over my shoulder, miss the garbage can. I can drive in this gravel, it's not hurting anything. And back onto the road. Here we are preparing. We're going to turn left onto a road that has a shared two-way left turn lane. But this time we're at an intersection. And so what do you see different? Hopefully you're thinking to yourself, the yellow paint. There's a gap in the yellow paint right in front of us. If there's a gap in the yellow paint, we don't use the center lane. It's that simple. We roll forward, we make sure there's a gap in traffic from both directions, and then when there is, we go directly to our closest lane heading in the direction we plan to go. It's that simple. If there's a gap in the paint, go through the gap into the first lane. If there's no gap in the paint, go into that center lane and then make a lane change out. No exceptions. Don't make it harder than that for you to understand. It's just that. So, let's recap. Drive 3. We're driving on faster roads with more traffic. We're practicing the center left turn lane. We're practicing backing up and turning. We're practicing perpendicular parking at major shopping centers. And we're practicing effective use of our eyes to be able to track where we're going and keep safe distances from vehicles in front, to the side, and to the rear. We're just escalating our level of skill so that each drive can gain a little bit of difficulty and yet not overwhelm us and get us in trouble. All right, that was Drive 3. Hopefully you all got something out of this. We look forward to seeing you when we do the next Drive 4 video.